There are days when you wake up feeling like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders. The stress from work, relationships, and unfulfilled expectations can leave you drained and lost. You wonder if there's a way to find peace amidst all this chaos. Stoicism, with its simplicity and inner strength, might just be the key to overcoming these struggles. It's not just the philosophy of ancient Roman thinkers. It's a guiding light for anyone seeking resilience and clarity in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world. Watch this video every day and feel the transformation from within, because the journey to change your life always begins with the smallest steps. And if you've found even a spark of value in these words, don't let it be just another fleeting moment. The truth is, 80% of people who watch and gain something from videos like this forget one simple thing: to subscribe. But you're different. By hitting that subscribe button, you're not just staying connected with me, you're joining a community of like-minded individuals, all striving to become the best version of themselves. Make that small choice today, and let's keep growing together on this journey. Number 1. Embrace change and discover strength in life's uncertainties. I used to fear change. As a child, I believed that if everything remained stable, I would be safe. But life doesn't work that way. It's like a rushing river, constantly shifting its course, carrying away anything that clings too tightly to the shore. There was a time when I stood at a major crossroads, losing a job I once thought was my entire future. That was when I realized something profound. I couldn't fight change. I could only embrace it. And in that moment, I truly understood the power of Stoicism. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Hardships aren't obstacles, they are the gym for the mind. Yet most of us try to avoid them. We fear uncertainty, failure, and loss. But we forget that it is precisely in those uncertain moments that we discover who we really are. I have seen many people broken by things they couldn't control. A friend of mine once ran a company for 15 years, his life's work. But when the economy collapsed, his company went under. He lost everything. I remember that day, he called me, his voice filled with despair. "I don't know what to do next." I told him, "It's not a company that makes a person, but a person who builds a company." Over the next year, he started again from scratch. Not only did he survive, he thrived. Change is not an ending, it is a doorway. But the real question is, do we have the courage to step through it? Nietzsche once said, "Amor fati, love of fate, that is my formula for greatness." This is also a core philosophy of Stoicism, to love our fate, no matter what it brings. Not just to accept it, but to embrace it, because everything that happens is part of the journey that shapes us into the best version of ourselves. I've gone through dark times when it felt like everything was against me. I was angry, I was frustrated. But then I came across the words of Epictetus: "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." That was when I realized, rather than resenting my fate, I could learn to love it. I could see it as a lesson, an opportunity for growth. Average people see change and run from it. Great people see change and run toward it. What makes the difference? Action. We can read 100 books, but if we don't take action, nothing will change. I once had a student, young, ambitious, but paralyzed by the fear of failure. I told him, every day, take one step forward, even if it's small, even if you stumble, just don't stand still. A year later, he came back to me and said, "My life has completely changed. Not because of luck, but because he took action." So now, I ask you, are you ready to embrace change? Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can complain about uncertainty, or you can face it, step into it, and grow stronger because of it. A small step each day, and you will no longer be the person you were yesterday. Change is not the enemy. It is an opportunity, but it is only for those brave enough to seize it. Are you ready? Because only when you are ready can you overcome the challenges life throws your way. Change is the beginning, not the final destination. The real journey begins after you accept uncertainty, the journey to conquer the highest peaks. No one reaches the summit by standing still and hoping. Just like steel must go through fire to become a sharp blade, we, too, must face challenges to forge true strength. Now, let's move forward to the next lesson, where we'll learn how to turn adversity into a springboard for limitless growth. Number 2, rise above challenges and conquer life's toughest climb. I vividly remember a freezing winter day from my childhood. There I was, a little boy standing on the soccer field, sweat pouring down despite the biting cold. I had just failed 5 times to score in a crucial match. My teammates looked at me with disappointment, and my opponents sneered with mockery. My heart pounded, my mind flooded with doubt. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. But then, something shifted inside me. I clenched my fists, stared at the ball with unshakable determination. Failure didn't define me. How I responded to it did. I focused, kicked the ball one more time, and this time it soared straight into the net. That feeling of victory didn't come from scoring the goal, but from refusing to give up on myself. As I grew older, I realized life is no different from that soccer field. Every failure, every challenge is a test of our willpower. No one can avoid life's steepest mountains, but everyone can choose to climb them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The obstacles you face, if you confront and conquer them, become the very path that leads you to greatness. I look at the great figures of the world, not because they never failed, but because they never backed down. Thomas Edison tried over 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he didn't see them as mistakes. He simply said he had found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That persistence embodies the Stoic spirit, not being defeated by adversity, but using it as a launching pad to rise even higher. So, how do you cultivate this mindset in your everyday life? First, embrace challenges instead of avoiding them. When you encounter difficulties, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask instead, "What can I learn from this?" That question alone will completely change how you see the problem. Second, build your endurance and resilience by deliberately putting yourself in controlled, challenging situations. Seneca once advised his followers to practice living simply, eating little, wearing rough clothes even when they could afford luxury. Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself, "Is this the condition that I feared?" Push yourself into discomfort, whether it's running in the rain, focusing intensely on work without breaks for hours, or waking up at 5 a.m. to start your day. When you willingly do hard things, you become stronger for when real challenges come your way. Third, develop unbreakable discipline. Greatness isn't achieved through fleeting bursts of inspiration, but through daily perseverance. Make a commitment to yourself that you won't stop, even when things get tough. If you're working on your fitness, set a goal of 100 push-ups a day, no exceptions. If you're learning a new skill, dedicate at least 30 minutes daily to practice, no matter how busy you are. These small, consistent actions will compound over time, shaping you into a resilient, unstoppable force. Have you ever looked up at a towering mountain and wondered if you could conquer it? Let me tell you a truth: the mountain doesn't matter. What matters is whether you're willing to climb. Are you ready to endure the bruises, the sweat, and the long, grueling days? If your answer is yes, then you're already a warrior, someone who understands that challenges aren't the enemy. They're our greatest teacher. And if there ever comes a day when you feel like you can't go on, remember this: everyone has a mountain to climb, but only those who refuse to quit will ever see the view from the top. Number 3, unlock the power of letting go and releasing negativity. I once lived with suitcases full of things that no longer held value, not objects, but painful memories, heavy failures, broken relationships, and old dreams I clung to, even when I knew they no longer belonged to me. I thought that letting go would mean losing a part of who I was, but I was wrong. The only thing I lost when I learned to let go were the chains that had kept me prisoner to my past. The Stoics teach us that letting go doesn't mean surrender. It means liberation. You can spend your whole life holding on to pain, gripping tightly to your wounds, and wondering why you still suffer. Or you can choose to set it down. The sad truth is, most people never do. We're so used to holding on to everything, the bitter memories, the grudges, the mistakes, because we fear that without them, we'll have nothing left. I remember an old friend, someone I was once very close to. We had shared years together, dreams and hopes, but time changes people, and the distance between us grows wider. I tried to hold on to that friendship, even though it was no longer the same. I clung to old memories like someone refusing to accept that things had changed. And then, one day, I realized I was holding on to something that no longer existed. I was hurting myself over something that no longer belonged to me. So, I decided to let go. The day I did, I didn't feel lost. I felt relieved. There was an emptiness, yes, but it wasn't as frightening as I'd imagined. It was simply space, waiting to be filled with something new, something that fit me better. Look at your life. How many things are you holding on to out of habit? A job you hate but are too afraid to leave? An old dream you keep chasing because you're scared to admit it no longer fits? A toxic relationship you maintain because you fear being alone? We fear loss, but we forget that sometimes losing means gaining. When you let go of something, you don't just free yourself from its weight, you open the door to new possibilities. A closed door doesn't mean the end, it simply means you're being guided toward another one. I used to think that if I failed, if I lost an opportunity, I'd never get another. But the truth is, opportunities are always there. I just couldn't see them when my mind was clouded by fear and regret. It was only when I learned to let go of what no longer belonged to me that I could clearly see the road ahead. You don't need a major life event to change. You just need one small decision each day to let go of what no longer serves you. Choose forgiveness over resentment. Choose action over regret. Choose to move forward instead of standing still, staring back at the past. Are you holding on to something you should have let go of long ago? A pain, a disappointment, an old dream that no longer fits? If the answer is yes, then it's time to set it down. Not because you're weak, but because you deserve a life that is lighter, freer, and more fulfilling. And when you do, you'll realize change isn't something to fear, it's something inevitable. And only by letting go can you truly take hold of your future. If these words made you reflect, inspired you, or even just brought a smile to your face, don't hesitate, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Why? Because that small action not only brings more valuable content to you, but also spreads this message to those who truly need it. Imagine someone out there feeling lost, struggling, and your single click could be the spark that reignites their passion. So, what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe now, and let's create change together. Number 4. Master focus with unshakable discipline. How can you achieve unshakable focus in a world full of distractions? How can one attain absolute focus when the world around us is overflowing with distractions? How do we sustain lasting discipline when temptations and the easy way out are always within reach? The answer lies in unwavering integrity, a quality that not only helps us harness our focus, but also shapes us into the strongest version of ourselves. I used to be easily distracted. Like many, I got swept up in trivial things, social media, meaningless news, endless small talk. I told myself I could multitask, but the truth was, I wasn't getting anything meaningful done. The weight of unaccomplished goals pressed down on me daily, and I kept wondering why I couldn't reach for something greater. Then I discovered Stoic philosophy. Seneca once said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If we try to do too many things at once, we end up achieving nothing. From that moment, I set a new rule. Focus on just one thing at a time. It sounds simple, but living by that rule is an unrelenting battle with yourself. In today's world, where we face thousands of notifications and interruptions from countless sources every single day, the ability to focus isn't optional, it's essential for success. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. I remember those early days of trying to change my habits. I set strict boundaries. No checking my phone in the morning, no letting notifications interrupt my work, and dedicating at least 90 minutes each day to my most important task. At first, I failed, again and again, but day by day, my brain began to adapt. I realized discipline isn't harsh or rigid, it's the key that frees us from being controlled by the meaningless. Integrity isn't just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself. Are you really working when you say you are? Are you fully engaged in the task at hand, or are you just pretending to be busy? Integrity prevents us from lying to ourselves. Look at the greatest figures in history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Elon Musk. What do they have in common? It's integrity in their work. Leonardo didn't just paint. He studied human anatomy for years to understand how every muscle functioned. Elon Musk isn't just a businessman. He spends hours each day learning about engineering and production instead of simply giving orders. Without integrity, focus wavers in the face of temptation. Without integrity, discipline becomes fragile, easily shattered at the first sign of struggle. Integrity is the guiding light that keeps us focused, even when things get tough. I've learned that to truly master focus, we need to consciously eliminate distractions. Seneca said, "If a man does not know to which port he is sailing, no wind is favorable." If you don't know what you're working towards, anything can steer you off course. Turn off your notifications, move your phone away from your desk, and carve out uninterrupted time. Build the habit of deep focus. No one is born with perfect concentration. It's something that must be trained day by day. Start small, 30 minutes of complete focus, then gradually increase to 60 and eventually 90 minutes. When your focus is tied to a greater purpose, distractions lose their power. If your goal is simply to get the job done, you'll find it easy to be sidetracked. But if you understand that every minute of focus is a building block for your future, you'll value it more. And most importantly, cultivate personal integrity. Make this commitment to yourself. I will do exactly what I say I will. If you promise to focus for 2 hours, follow through. If you slip, ask yourself, was I truly honest with myself? By now we're halfway through this video, and I have a challenge for you. Comment, "Do it," so I know you've accepted it. This challenge could completely change how you work and think. Dedicate just 1 day to practicing this principle. 90 minutes of uninterrupted work, no phone, no social media. Afterward, ask yourself, did you accomplish more? Do you feel proud for having controlled your focus? The first time I did this, I was amazed to see my productivity double. Work was no longer a never-ending list of tasks. It became clear steps that brought me closer to my bigger goals each day. Experience it for yourself, and if you're serious about mastering focus, don't look away from this video, because what's coming next could change your life forever. Number 5. Invest today to become the best version of yourself tomorrow. Imagine the best version of yourself, stronger, wiser, more determined. That version doesn't appear overnight. It's built through the choices you make every single day. Life isn't just a series of random moments. It's the direct result of your actions, your mindset, and the persistence you commit to starting today. So, the real question is, what are you investing in? And are those investments truly bringing you closer to the person you aspire to be? Seneca once said, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Are you waiting for that perfect moment to start a new habit, launch an ambitious project, or simply make a positive change in your life? If you don't act now, time will still move forward, indifferent to your delays. Look at those who've made transformative changes in their lives. Elon Musk, who worked 100-hour weeks to turn Tesla and SpaceX from mere ideas into reality, or Akira Kurosawa, the legendary Japanese filmmaker who, despite numerous career setbacks, pursued his art with relentless dedication until the very end. Their common trait isn't innate talent. It's an unwavering commitment to invest in themselves. Have you ever felt like you're not good enough, not smart enough, or lacking the resources to begin something new? Don't let hesitation paralyze you. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Progress often starts with imperfection and even ridicule. Every great person began with nothing. Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, grew up in a poor neighborhood in Brooklyn. But instead of accepting his circumstances, he persevered, honed his business skills, and ultimately transformed Starbucks into a global coffee empire. You don't need to have everything to start, but you must start to have everything. Learning isn't just about absorbing new knowledge, it's about mastering your mindset. If you want to invest in yourself, begin by reading books, learning new skills, or challenging your thinking through constructive debates. Take Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors. He spends 80% of his day reading and analyzing markets. The question is, if someone like Buffett dedicates most of his time to learning, why shouldn't we? Success isn't a fixed destination. It's a long, challenging journey filled with persistence. What matters isn't how strongly you start, but how long you can endure when faced with obstacles. Anyone can feel motivated in the beginning, but only those who keep going, despite exhaustion and setbacks, truly achieve greatness. Like a mountain climber, you might start with all the enthusiasm in the world, but it's patience, determination, and resilience that will decide whether you reach the summit. Remember, every small step moves you forward, and it's perseverance that builds lasting glory. Most importantly, take action. Knowledge without action is like a seed never planted. Write down one thing you can do today to invest in yourself, no matter how small. It could be reading 10 pages of a book, exercising for 30 minutes, or simply waking up earlier to reflect on yesterday. When you invest in yourself daily, even in tiny increments, you're laying a strong foundation for your future. And remember, your tomorrow is shaped by what you do today. Ask yourself, who do you want to become in a year, in 5 years? The answer doesn't lie in distant dreams, but in the concrete actions you take right now. Think big, but start small. And most importantly, don't just think, act. Number 6, walk through life with character and unwavering integrity. Life isn't always as clear-cut as the pages of a philosophy book. We don't live within the memorable quotes of great thinkers. We live in everyday situations where we're often forced to make choices without knowing for sure what's right. Character and integrity aren't reserved for grand, defining moments. They're forged in the small actions we take every single day. Imagine you're working at a company and one day your boss asks you to tweak some numbers in a report to make the financials look better. It's just a small figure. No one will know. No one will check. A simple decision, but one that could shake the foundation of your morals. What would you do? Refusing might make you seem rigid or even cost you a promotion. Accepting might leave you lying awake at night, knowing you've betrayed your own honesty. This is the very test Marcus Aurelius spoke of. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. If you believe a small compromise is harmless, one day you may no longer recognize the line between right and wrong. Character isn't built in moments of glory. It's shaped by the small choices we make every day. Have you ever seen someone accidentally drop something valuable on the street? A wallet, a phone. You could pick it up and keep it for yourself. No one would know. But if you choose to return it, you're doing more than a good deed. You're reinforcing your own integrity. Integrity isn't about doing the right thing when people are watching. It's about the choices you make when no one sees. Picture this. It's a hectic morning. You're running late for work, and traffic is heavy. The light turns yellow. Just a little tap on the gas and you'll make it through. No one's around, no cops, no cameras. It's a small decision, but it reflects how you live your life. Do you stop, or do you ignore the rules for personal gain? If you choose to stop, you're living by Marcus Aurelius's words. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. We don't need to talk about living with integrity. We need to show it through our everyday actions. Character and integrity aren't just about how we treat others. They're about how we treat ourselves. Have you ever promised yourself you'd exercise every morning, read a book a week, or spend less time on social media? But when the alarm goes off, you hit snooze and think, I'll start tomorrow. When we don't keep promises to ourselves, we slowly erode our inner discipline. Living with integrity isn't easy. Sometimes it means accepting setbacks, losing opportunities, or being misunderstood. but in the long run, it brings peace. You might lose many things in life: money, status, jobs, but if you hold on to your character, you'll always have yourself. And when you have yourself, you haven't really lost anything at all. Every day, ask yourself, am I living today as someone I can be proud of? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. If the answer is no, don't wait, start now. Now, I'd love to hear your story. Have you ever faced a situation where a small compromise could have brought you immediate benefits, but you chose to stand firm in your values and integrity? Maybe it was speaking the truth even when you knew it would cause trouble, or refusing to take the easy way out when you knew what the right thing was. How did you overcome that moment? Share your story in the comments. Your experience isn't just a tale. It could be a guiding light for others struggling to hold on to their values. Character and integrity are the cornerstones that help us navigate life with confidence, but is that enough? When we stand firm in our values, the next question arises: what will we leave behind for this world? A meaningful life isn't just about staying true to ourselves. It's about what we build and pass on to those who follow. Let's uncover the final lesson, a place where we not only walk with integrity, but also leave our mark through relentless effort and unwavering dedication. Number 7. Create a lasting legacy through relentless determination. When you think of legacy, do you picture grand castles or monumental achievements that change the world? But to me, a legacy isn't always about something so vast. A true legacy is the mark you leave on the hearts of those around you. It's how you live each day with perseverance, integrity, and relentless effort. You don't need to be a king or a great inventor to build a legacy. You just need to live fully, moment by moment, with a passionate heart and an unyielding spirit. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." I've always believed that. The small actions, the daily choices we make, whether simple or challenging, leave traces along the journey of life. These are the silent bricks that build each person's legacy. I remember my childhood when I was a doubtful, fearful kid facing life's challenges. My family wasn't well off, and I grew up in a small neighborhood where everyone had to work hard just to get by. I vividly recall watching my father, a construction worker, labor under the scorching sun for hours just to earn enough money to buy my school books. He never complained, never uttered a word of frustration. What he left me wasn't wealth or property, but the example of unwavering perseverance and determination. That was the first legacy I ever received, and it became the foundation for all my efforts later in life. Have you ever asked yourself, what will I leave behind when I'm gone? The answer doesn't lie in material possessions or fame, but in the value you create in life and the people you touch. Think of someone like Epictetus, a former slave who was physically disabled, yet through his wisdom and resilience left behind life lessons that have stood the test of time. He once said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." His life itself was the clearest testament to the power of relentless effort. I've failed many times. After graduating from college, full of hope, I found myself unemployed for nearly a year. Every morning, waking up felt like falling into an endless abyss. But then, I remembered my father's words and the philosophies I'd read. Perseverance is the key. I began rewriting my resume, learning new skills, and taking on small jobs just to support myself. Step by step, I climbed out of that pit. And when I finally landed my dream job, I realized the true reward wasn't the final achievement. It was the journey I'd traveled and the person I'd become along the way. You might be facing your own challenges right now. Maybe you feel exhausted, ready to give up. But remember this: every step you take, no matter how slow, is building a part of your legacy. Your persistence today will be the story that inspires someone else tomorrow. Legacy isn't something you leave behind after you die. It's how you live while you're still breathing. It's how you treat others, how you overcome hardships, and how you refuse to give up on yourself. Ask yourself, what did I do today to become a better version of myself? Remember, every new day is a fresh opportunity to build your own legacy. If you ever feel lost, turn to Stoic philosophy, a guiding light for those seeking steadiness in a world full of chaos. Remember Seneca's words: "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. Take action today. In the end, I want to share this. You don't need to do something extraordinary to leave a mark. Simply living with all your heart and soul, pushing through even the smallest challenges, means you're already building an unforgettable legacy. And that's how you change your life, one day at a time. So, stand up, take action, and leave your mark on this world. Because the greatest legacy you can create is the way you live your life. We've just explored 7 core principles of Stoicism, timeless lessons that not only help you overcome life's challenges, but also guide you toward living a more meaningful and resilient life. From embracing change and rising above adversity to building a lasting legacy through relentless effort, each principle serves as a solid foundation for cultivating inner strength in an unpredictable world. But remember, knowledge only becomes powerful when you put it into practice. Watch this video every day as a gentle reminder that the strength and peace you seek are already within you. If you found this video helpful and haven't hit that like button yet, now's the perfect time. It's a small gesture that fuels my passion to create more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're unsure what to write, simply type "Act Now" to let me know you've completed this lesson. If you believe these lessons could inspire someone you care about, don't hesitate to share this video with them. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more valuable content on the way to support you on your journey of growth.